Bears have officially locked up Montez Sweat to a contract extension. Me and Bobby, we're going to break it all down, what this could mean for the offseason for the Bears right after this.
Now tuned into Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Listen, I want to give you all this. I don't even care right now. Listen, Montez Sweat is officially locked into a 4-year, $98 million contract. Listen, this is great news, right? This is something that we needed. I'm glad that they're able to go ahead and lock him in, that there's no drama or rigmarole around it. They were able to get it done less than a week after trading for him. They got him locked in before he even made his debut. Now he's locked into a contract extension. We have now a linchpin for that Bears defensive line that we can build around for the next 4 years. How you feeling, Bobby?
Feel great. Michael Lombardi, still a dumb move, my guy. Is he still dumb? I told everybody, man, like, hey, that's why y'all got to tune in to the number one spot for all Chicago Bears. We got the stuff that go on daily with Haize, being even killed, being temper-minded, and letting y'all know, pump the brakes. We got time to sign this guy. But Ryan Poles stood right in front of the podium and let him know our priority is to sign these guys. He locked them up, and I think the deal is pretty damn good. Hey, yeah. You got Nick Bosa. He making $34 million a year. Myles Garrett, $25 million a year. And other guys around that. He's right there somewhere, however you want to put him. I love it. We got the guy. Like I said, you don't want to take away from this team if you're trying to see us, make a move upward. You got to add to it. That's why you go ahead and you risk the draft capital. But now you got your guy that's healthy. He's productive, and he's going to come in and make an impact. Haize, just imagine what if his coming out party is like the coming out party of Khalil Mack when he first came. Look, we just hoping. I know it's speculation and me being over happy right now. But I'm just saying, we don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but anything could happen.
Yeah. And that's just what it boils down to, man. They got him at what I think is a fair price. Did they pay maybe a little bit more? I mean, yeah, but listen, you not only have to sell Montez Sweat on not only taking care of him financially, but that you're going to do enough for this team where he's going to be competing for something. And that's what it is. His production is more than worth this deal. When you really look at it, how he's going to make it easier on the young interior defensive lineman. You also just locked up Andrew Billings to a contract extension. The Bears defensive line, for the most part, they don't really have to worry, but they address some things in the draft. If you can get a young DN, Jared Verse is still somebody with one of the first round picks I would love to see them be able to get. But you got to think about it this way. You now have Montez Sweat. You got DeMarcus Walker, who can be a versatile piece for you, who can play on the edge or the interior line. You got Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens, who you just drafted, right? And you've locked in veteran Andrew Billings. That defensive line needs basically one more piece, and they got a solid defensive line that they can work around for you. So.
Yeah, you could definitely lean on it a lot more, and that's what we need, man. You definitely got to continue to build out these trenches. I know it's been a lot of fuss about the second round pick. But like I said on plenty of occasions, man, they got 2 firsts. You can always get the second round pick back. You know what I'm saying? And you can always do things. I'm just excited to see what happens, man, because now you can move DeMarcus Walker inside, let Montez Sweat be lined up next to him, and then you can see what happens. Andrew Billings has been solid in the run game. He's been getting some type of pressure up the middle. You know what I'm saying? Stat sheet might not show that, but he's still been solid. And that's just what you got to continue to do. You got to lock in guys, young guys, still only 27 years old with a lot of years left, ahead of him. But the 4 years, hey, that's pretty much all we need him for.
Yeah, I mean, and your hope is, especially if you get a young defensive end in this draft, then you hope that at that point, like they offset, right? That young defensive end really comes into his own as towards the end of Montez Sweat's deal. But then, like I said, you have such young interior defensive linemen you just spent draft capital on. You're also hoping that they progress as well. Now, I'm gonna flip it because I've already seen some comments in regards to what this means for Jaylen Johnson. To me, this doesn't mean that Jaylen Johnson is gone because, like I've said, and Bobby, me and you've talked about before, this now means you don't have to worry about using your franchise tag for Montez Sweat. They may go ahead and use that on Jaylen Johnson.
They potentially could. You know what I'm saying? We don't know the number that Jaylen Johnson was offered. Me personally, I want to go around 14 to 16 million in that area, but we don't know if Jaylen Johnson seems like he wants to be, paid more than that. And if he wants to be paid more than what we believe he's being offered, He got to
Yeah.
come out and show something. Obviously, I'm on the side of you don't want to let this young guy walk out your door. You want to keep him around. Ryan Post has said that he wants to keep him around. I understand that. Money talks though. And we just got to see what happens. But I'm with you on that. You can always franchise this guy and just let him be paid at market value.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like the Bears have to protect the assets that they can, right? And I think you definitely look to explore that. I don't really can't think off the top of my head. I haven't really done a deep dive into our upcoming free agents of a different player you'd want to use it on. But we'll end up seeing whatever that comes to it. I don't want to make it completely about that. I just already seen some comments, so I wanted to talk about that.
Right.
But this is a solid deal. It ends up being worth $24.5 million per year. As somebody said, only 78 million or $72.8 million is guaranteed. This is an extremely fair market deal. So
Yeah, and that's why I came out the gate firing off at one of the Lombardi guys. Mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you, my guy. Mind your business. You ain't around for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the
that's a
guy,
fact.
like and that's the thing we really need to understand, in my opinion, as you know what I'm saying, some of the fans, like every GM move, every move they make is not gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
Bro, like it's just not gonna happen like that. Now we can see if this is gonna be a one that pans out for sure. So we gonna see, but we gotta pump the brakes. Every move ain't gonna be a move that hit. Chase Claypool is long gone, y'all. This is
Yeah,
a
I
good
mean,
deal right here.
this is a good deal, and we can't paint. And don't get me wrong, definitely evaluate and let's be fair. Let's be honest in how we talk about deals that failed. Like the Chase Claypool deal was a fail. There's no way around it. It was a fail. It didn't work out. But you can't use that to now color these deals, like the Montez Sweat deal. This is a good deal. You gave up a second round pick for a player that you're not going to get anybody in the second round that's going to be better than him, especially not in year one.
Yep.
It's a position of need with a skill set of need. He's still young enough as well, not as young as like a Chase Young, but again, Chase Young has injury concerns. You don't have injury concerns. He's played in 95% of the games that he's been in and out. Most of the other 5% came in one season where he had some injury issues. So you're locking in a guy who's durable, who gets the production. He's not going to have that same production immediately, and I already know some Bears fans. They are going to come out after this first game. If Montez Sweat has one sack at all, they're going to be like, this is what we paid. Not listen, he's not on the same type of defensive line that he was in the Commanders. Let it come around. This is a great building piece for sure.
For real. And me and C Dub, we talked about it on the mailbag. And we was pretty much just saying, like, it's gonna be somebody if this guy does not register 2 sacks or, like you said, hell, even a sack. They go, this is what we traded for. I told you guys it was a bad trade. Like, bro,
Ryan Post fails again. Shut up, man.
You know how it's gonna go. But I agree with you, man. This is something that we should be happy about, when it comes to building this thing out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want to see. This is the type of stuff you want to see. You want to see guys that come in and not just be productive or have injury concerns, but do what the hell they supposed to be doing on the football field, bro.
That's what it
Yeah,
boils
he
down
always
to.
available. So
Yep.
let's keep it going.
Yep, and I love what this also means, like we said, for the young guys, and too, I think me and you have talked about this on the daily, is that improving that front line is going to help the linebacking core. It's going to help the secondary, and so, like I said, it may not pay off immediately right here in this first game, but this is a move to making everything else fit better together for your defensive team, and so. I'm glad that they were able to lock him in. It would have been another black eye on Ryan Poles had they not been able to give him and had he walked in the offseason. So I don't want to hear nobody bitch about this deal. It is what it is. This is a more than fair market deal when it comes down to it. So now, as well as with Jaylen Johnson, right? He said that he was asked before if it would sit, weirdly with him if Montez Sweat got an extension before him. And he said, no, it wouldn't for sure. So let's hope that that's the truth. And let's hope, I hope that the Bears and Jaylen Johnson can improve this, man, because I would love to see Jaylen stay on this team as well.
Yeah, because you can't, man, we've been saying it, bro. You can't have a lot of people walking out that door. And I think I want to add on real quick with the Montez Sweat when he helps every other position group behind him get better. I also think it's best for the young guys too. Javon Dexter and Zach Pickens. Now they don't have to accelerate or rush their progression. They can be rotational guys and come in and then just grow and develop. Because most of the time, these defensive linemen, if they're not generational talents, it takes them time, to flourish within the NFL. But back on to Jaylen Johnson, I don't want to see this guy go. You got to
Yeah.
continue to build this out. You got to have some cornerstones stuff. And I think the next replacement, honestly, and we ain't talk about it a lot, it's gonna be that replacement from Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, I think the writing, that's the one I think the writing is on the wall about, is Eddie Jackson, bro. I've said it before. I think I said it on the daily, maybe it was Bleacher Report. Don't be surprised, Bears fans, if Eddie Jackson is gone this offseason.
Yeah. I just look at it that way as well, because it's just
Yeah.
too much back there. Older guy, bunch of injuries. And I think I like what they doing, man. The young team, but they got some proven talent in some key areas so far. So
Yeah, and that's what you want, is you're trying to develop these young guys. You want proven veterans in there that, like you said, they just do their job, and that is Montez Sweat. And yeah, I think he's going to fit Bears culture nice. Well, help improve it, because we ain't got a coach that's anything positive right now. So let me choose my words carefully on that one. But any last thoughts, Bob, before we get out of here on this emergency episode?
Hey, with the expectation that this guy's about to start, hey, Billy. See Billy in my head too. He done screwed up my Bulls. So Matt Eberflus, you gonna join the boat with this guy. Make sure that you put together a good game plan tomorrow against them Saints. Let's see something. You got another defensive lineman for you who you always want to rush for. Let's make sure that these guys got a good game plan so they can rush for correctly.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's hope that that's the case, man. We'll see tomorrow, man. We'll be here to break it down. And we got a short week. We got a game Sunday, turn around, play again Thursday. So,
man, busy week, y'all.
Busy
tune
week.
in.
Busy
Let's
week.
get it.
Let's get it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're following us at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. I may do a special voicemail bag tonight, because I know the voicemail bag's about to be going off tonight.
Send them in. Let's get it.
Yeah, send them in, man. But we love you guys, man. Chi-Town up, Bear down. Love you guys.